Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Big John, Big John's Bully House. Over here with my buddy Nick and Rome. Kind of a Corso female that is in heat. And will start being bred here Monday. How long you been in dogs, Nick?
Total?
Total.
So I was 19 when I got my first pair of pit bulls.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, 24 years ago.
24 years. How long we known each other? About the same?
It'd be probably 27 years.
Right.
I think I was like 16, 17.
Mm-hmm. When you first started off in the pit bulls, what'd you start with?
I started with my my buddy's dogs that he had. He actually at the time lived like 6 blocks down the road. He had some pit bulls. They were, I couldn't even tell you like the names and stuff like that. I remember it was my buddy Nate Dorsey. He got me started on the pit bulls, and I actually never intended to do like breedings or something, nothing like that. We didn't make any money off of it back then, you know.
Right.
It was just sometimes dogs would end up pregnant, and you'd have a litter of puppies, and here they go.
Right.
But even back then, I remember all his dogs were papered.
Yeah.
Like 100%. The first dog I got, I named him Juvie. Juvenile delinquent was his name. He was terrible as a puppy. And his parents were Bishop and Nikita.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Bishop was a cool dog. That was Nate's dog. But Nikita she was a firecracker, man. That dog was mean. But
Nikita was what we consider, I guess, the old school junkyard brindle. Cropped ears.
Yeah, she looked good.
Yeah.
They both looked really good.
Yep.
He came out, he was brindle and then had like big white stripe down the middle of his nose.
Yep.
And I bred him to a couple different females for a while, and then I ended up getting the best dog of my life, man.
Mm-hmm.
I had a pit bull for 18 years named Tank off of Juvie, and that was probably the best dog I ever had.
Yep. Now, back when I was younger, I got Damien, which was my first whole family red nose at 14. That was that red and white boy. And then Eric Matera
Yep.
had Dakota, that red nose bitch. And then that's when Nate bred Bishop to Dakota. And that's when I got, if I'm not mistaken, that's when I first got a hold of some Jimmy Boots and Stratton shit. It's off of them two. And then from there, obviously I had Damien was a fucking man eater, one person dog. He's just a fucking man eater. And then Princess, man, she was my smallest pit bull I ever had. I still to this day ever owned. She ended up having dwarfism after we found that out and everything. She was tiny, man. She wasn't no taller than a fucking French bulldog. Had
I
dwarf.
remember that dog.
Yeah, she had dwarfism.
Yeah.
Came out with dwarfism, and then after Princess, I got Snoop, solid black boy with a little bit of white on his chest, just one little spot of white. If I'm not mistaken, that was Chinaman blood. That's when I had my first litter between them two. And then I kind of continued after years of having pit bulls and shit and game dogs, and then went to early 2000s is when I got into the bullies, and that's when you kind of took a break. from the dogs, didn't it?
Yeah, I only had Tank and a female until like 2009, 10. My female, something happened with my female at the time. I ended up keeping Tank and never having another litter.
Right.
Just never doing nothing. I started doing research on getting into dogs and this and that. Nate always had, the last 10 years that I knew of, he always had cool, cool looking Corsos. And I actually didn't even know what they were called. I just knew his dogs were badass,
Right.
Walking around the block. I think he had a blue brindle at the time. I kept seeing. I started doing research for like a year. And I was like, man, I can handle these dogs,
Right.
They're just dogs.
Yeah.
Boy, I was wrong. They're not just dogs. They're
Yep.
totally different.
So what made you want to get into the Cane Corsos?
I think probably the challenge, probably more than anything. Like the challenge. A lot of people saying, you can't. There's no way you'd be able to do those dogs. I've had some pretty aggressive dogs in my day. These guys are nowhere near aggressive like they were.
Right.
I think I've learned like before, like what not to do, what to do. You can tell it's naturally in them to be a little more dominant and aggressive, but I think I learned my lesson on her with the other ones.
Yeah.
She kind of taught me like what not to do, what to do. I had a lot of mentors, man. I've had probably 3 or 4 people amongst them, just them 3 or 4 people. There's probably over 80, 90 years of experience,
Yeah.
to where it was easy for me to call and ask questions. And I mean, I didn't just jump in and buy a dog. It took a year and a half before I even pulled the trigger.
Even committed to your first
Yeah.
Cane Corso, and Rome's the first one.
Yeah, she was my first one.
Okay.
Yep, she's a Mad River dog. That's Daryl Hamrin over there.
Okay.
Ohio.
And then your second dog was.
Second one was, well, I kind of got Sicario and Lady Sif at the same time. Actually, I got them on the same day, but they were in 2 different states. I picked my boy up in Indiana at my guy Chad's place, Integrity Cane Corsos, Cane Corsos. And then we took off and went over to Ohio. I got an Americana girl. She's the dog we already have a video of.
Sif?
Sif, yeah.
Yep.
That's the dog with drive, man. They actually told me before I picked her up, like, this dog has a lot of drive,
Right.
Once again, I was bullheaded. I was like, I can handle it. I can do this, It's just a dog. No, it ain't. She was tough. But a lot of fun, man. Taught me a lot. A lot of people probably been saying for at least a year, why is this dude waiting so long? Why is he?
Yeah.
I want to do it right, man. I don't want to breed year-old dogs,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it right. I want to get the health testing done. I want to do everything by the book. I think there's a lot of people who just skip a couple little steps, and you don't have to do that. Don't eat that.
And then with Rio come about. Well, was he the last one you bought was Rio?
No, it would have been Draka.
Draka, the blue bitch.
Yep.
No.
Yep, Draka was the last one. Draka and Sicario are both integrity dogs.
Mm-hmm. So, just in the 4 dogs that you do have, just for an example, so people that are trying to come into this, not just this breed, but any breed of dog, how much would you say you're wrapped up right now?
with food, vet bills,
dogs,
nutrition,
yeah,
everything.
yeah, everything. 80,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
And
Cages.
that's doing it the right way.
I mean,
somewhat what.
I bet you most would say I've cut corners.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even at the 80,000 market
Here's
range.
the difference though. Like, I don't care if I do have litters or not, really. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna continue to buy more Corsos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a bunch of dogs, no matter what. I work really hard. If I want to spend my money on take care of them, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It ain't no big deal. I like having them around, man. My kids are all safe. A lot of people probably don't even know all my dogs live in the house. they're all inside.
Go girl.
So they're not, I don't know. It's a little different with us, I think.
Yeah.
I think my biggest goal though with the litters of puppies, I told you before, is I'd love for somebody to take one of these dogs, like my buddy Jamie, you know, take one of these dogs and just take it to this show, go to this show, and go to this show, and eventually, you know, really do something with one of the dogs. I'm not gonna say I don't have the time. I probably do have the time to like maybe get a puppy to go show and start. I didn't start early enough with these guys, so you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't even know if they would be considered show quality to some people, so I believe that I've seen some dogs on there that they look better than. I've seen dogs on there that look way better than them, though. You know what I mean? So
Right.
my goal is to get healthy, nice looking dogs who last, you know, their actual lifespan. I think the biggest thing with them is the hip dysplasia and the epilepsy. Those two things right there are hurting the breed, so we gotta like do the best possible job at, you know, keeping that
Right.
out of the system.
Now, what are the major things for epilepsy? Which.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know like the facts, you know what I mean?
Right.
And from what I've heard from others, you know, it's hearsay or whatever, but a lot has to do with some of the import dogs. The ones that are imported tend to bring the more boxer influence genetic over here or whatever
Right.
it means. And some of them dogs have epilepsy. I think epilepsy just I think if you just don't breed a dog that has the gene in there, then don't breed the dog, man.
Right.
It's just that simple. You know, if your dog's having seizures or whatever, fix the dog. Don't have puppies with the dog. A lot of people think too it's wrong to breed dogs if you're not showing them. I'm personally, I like people who show dogs. I think shows are cool, but it's not for me. You know what I mean? It's not. I want a dog to be nice when it needs to be nice, be aggressive when it needs to be aggressive, do its job, whatever that job may be for other people. My dog's jobs are nothing. Watch TV, eat, sleep, don't
Right.
beat up your friends.
Right.
That's a pretty simple job.
Yeah.
The thing with the females being put together, you know, I've raised all these dogs together pretty much. She's always been older than the rest, you know. No matter what, I would never trust leaving two females together at the same time. Seeing how they act, you know, even in front of me sometimes, I heard from my peers, and I've tried it, you know, and it doesn't work.
No.
I used to brag and say, I got these two females hanging out together, you know, and have videos of them and
Right.
playing and this and that, and it just don't work sometimes, man. I haven't got it to work. I can keep them around each other for maybe 10 minutes, and then one of them gets pissy. So maybe I didn't train them the right way when they were first, you know, starting off. But like I said, I learned kind of with my dogs, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I I would never get rid of them. I would never sell them. I would never rehome them or nothing like that, because if it's a problem that I created, I wouldn't give it to somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're mine for life. So
Yep.
I know what to tell people now. You know, this is how you should do it, because I learned from my own mistakes.
Yeah.
I still got some. I got a full I got to do a full registration on the Blue Girl. Talk to him, give him some money. We're gonna work something out with him, and then I think with that Blue Girl, I'm gonna kind of let him decide like what the best route would be. 'Cause she's an integrity dog, and man, he has some nice litters. He knows what he's doing. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I'll do on the Blue Girl.
So who do you want to bring out next to show everybody?
I'll bring Draka out so everybody can see Draka.
Okay.
I don't think too many people have seen her.
I don't think so.
You want to go inside?
I know Draka and me have met one other time, and
It wasn't pretty, huh?
it wasn't pretty. So we're going to show this on video, I guess, how this goes. The other 3 Corsos, I haven't had issues with. I'm not scared of. I have no worries about. And it doesn't matter if I don't come over for a couple months. I know when I come over, I don't have a worry in the world. But this blue bitch that's about to come out, she's a little iffy.
She ain't iffy. She's a good girl. She's a good girl.
So here's Draka. This is the blue bitch.
Good girl.
How old is she, Nick?
She's 16 months, 17 months, 16 months, something like that.
And she is the integrity dog that you talking about?
Yeah, sit. Awesome. Yes. Yeah. Yep. She's from the same place where Sicario came from. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Yes. Those are good girls. Where's the chickens? Go see. Go see the chickens. Stay down. Good girl.
Good girl.
Hi, Mom. Watching music? Huh? She likes music. She gotta have her music. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. You gotta go out to the see the pups.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, here in a little bit.
He's okay. He's okay.
What?
He's okay.
Here, come get a treat. Come.
Go get your treat.
Sit. 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 Here, sit. Little girl.
Girl.
Oh, little girl.
Oh, babies.
So, for anybody looking for a Cane Corso, what would be your advice?
Do your research. Do your research on the breed. Don't believe everything you see on there. Talk to somebody who's been involved for a long time. There's so many breeders with a wealth of knowledge out there. I wish I would have attended more like AKC shows so I could actually meet some of the other bigger breeders, you know, the big places. We actually have some in Illinois that's really close to us, but it's really cliquish in the Corso community. If you don't do everything that they want you to do, you know, you'll get slammed, man. I mean, you just gotta take it with a grain of salt. It's like everything, you know, if you do your best, try to do your best with it. Who cares what they say, you know what I mean?
Right.
I know what I want. I know exactly what I want. Do I have to do everything everybody else is doing? No. Will I do a lot of that stuff? Yeah, probably, because it worked for them, you know?
Right.
Do I still call and ask people for advice? Fuck yeah, every chance I get.
Right. So now, as far as this female here, what are the plans with her?
That's the one I was telling you about. I'm gonna get with the guy from Integrity, Chad. I'm gonna let him decide.
I don't have nothing to say.
Come, come.
I don't have no treats.
Sit down. Sit down. You're okay. Hey, you're okay. He's okay. Yeah, good girl. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of see what he thinks, what direction we're gonna go
Right.
with her. I don't wanna. I'm not gonna say necessarily I won't use Sicario, but I'd like for him to have some input on that one, you know.
Right. So you would admit that there's nothing wrong with going back to the person you got the dog from and asking them for breeding advice and how to breed the female.
Oh hell, not for 1 second. I still feel like to this day, like the dogs are mine. I take care of them, but those guys produce these dogs. You know
Right.
what I mean, those kennels produce these dogs. It's their dog. That's what they. It's their kid that they sold us. You know
Right.
What I mean?
Right.
They know their bloodline more than we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know, you know, the types, you know, they know exactly what they're doing, man. That's why, especially with her, I want, you know, there's some corrections that obviously need to be made, so he would be the best person to say, hey, I think you need to put this male with her.
Right.
You know, maybe Sicario will work out, you know, that I don't know. I would love, that's what I'm looking to do though, is I'm gonna get a hold of him. I owe him money anyway, so I gotta get a hold of him.
Right.
We were kind of waiting to see how she turned out.
Right.
I think she's turning out a lot better than I thought. So. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Let me see. What happened? There you go. Good girl. Well, yeah, and the other advice I would say too is like the whole training thing. You have to forget that you have other dogs or you've had other dogs. You know what I mean? You
Right.
always have to just
You can't
completely-
compare this breed to any other breed you've had.
No, it's not a lab, you know. It's not.
Right.
They're not even close to pit bulls, really. I think that's even kind of different.
Right.
And socialization. I mean, some dogs you can get it out of them, you know, later on. I noticed with them, you only have that short little window. Best thing to buy is there's a book out there. I forget the lady's name. My buddy told me to buy it. I bought it. I read it. It's like the Bible, you know, the Cane Corso Bible or Cane Corso Bible. I say Cane still because I gotta correct everybody, but
Right.
I almost like everything's in there, kind of like the window you have for training.
Right.
That 8 weeks to 14, 16 weeks, man, it's really important. I noticed it with her more than I did with the rest.
Right.
You know what I mean? I kind of stayed on her a little bit more. I got her late, so I didn't get her until she was like 10 weeks, 11 weeks. So, I don't know, man. That's the only advice I have. And then you can't buy cheap food. No matter what you do, you can't buy cheap food.
Can't buy cheap food and you can't buy cheap dogs and think you're gonna get what's standing in front of you now.
Yeah, I mean, I know she probably looks small, but she's really close to a 100-pound dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think she weighs like 92, 94 pounds.
Right.
Which they say is like an average size, you know. Of course, I like the look of the bigger ones, you know.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that every time. It's just not. I don't even think they're really supposed to be that big. You see the show dogs, they're not that big. They're not that tall. They're not. I want to say 26 for the females is like 25, 26 inches. I could be wrong, but then the males, of course, they go a little taller, you know.
So just like anything else, any other breed, you have show quality and show type. You have brood stock or brute stock, however people want to say it, and then you have a breeding tool.
Yeah.
That's just what it is with any other breed. So she's close to 100 pounds. And for all you American bully breeders out there that love to claim your 100-pound dogs, you see the size of this female here. And she's close to 100 pounds. So you guys go ahead and take that into consideration next time you put your fake stats out there. And how much is Rome weighing?
Rome's 135, like 132, something like that. She's supposed to be losing weight, and she's not.
Okay.
But I'm feeding her 4 cups of food a day, 2 cups twice a day. She just stays right around that 130 to 132, 134 mark. She's definitely a lot bigger than this dog and Sif. I'll call you right back. All right, back. Well, yeah. The other thing too, man, is there's so many know-it-alls on there. I got 4 dogs here. The health testing thing.
Right.
So total with the 6 dogs total, 4 dogs have had health tested parents.
Right.
2 dogs haven't.
I don't have no treats.
Right.
Yep.
Supposedly. You know, they tell you that. You know, you see papers and proof, but you never really know. You know
right.
What I mean? If the parents are health tested, that means you have
Sit. Relax.
You have come here.
Relax.
Come here.
That's not a treat. Relax.
Here. Come. No. But Tom, quit. Here, get your treat. I don't have any more. Get over here. Come here. No. Go. Get a drink. Come on.
And the biggest thing with these dogs, man, is like any other breed, you don't panic, you don't jump up, you don't run away, you don't show fear, you don't do none of that. You just stay seated and let the dog do what it's gonna do. 9 times out of 10, once you jump up and you try to panic, is when you're going to get hit.
Girl, you can't have that. No.
So that's the biggest thing.
Here.
You just don't panic, especially with this breed of dog.
You're not listening.
Sit.
Wanna go get the chickens? Let's go get the chickens. Come on. Let's go get the chickens. You gotta put your leash back on.
You gonna bring out Rio and?
Yeah, I'll bring Rio out.
Yep. Biggest thing, man, is just with anything. I mean, you guys probably hear it in the video. She just started doing a little low growl and shit, and I think this is the 2nd time I've met her. So, I mean, she's just doing what she's doing. I mean, this is in these dogs, especially the kind of Corsos. They are a guardian breed. I've been doing my research as well ever since Nick got into the kind of Corsos because I wanted to have information on them. You know, I don't want to be just held to one breed, American bullies or whatever. I want to know all breeds, and that's when I got into the game dogs, the pit bulls, and all that. I had to go back and research and do the history.
Stay with that.
The bulldogs, the Staffordshire, the American Staffordshire, the pit bulls,
Nice.
the old English bulldogs, the Catahoulas, the Alpha Blue bulldogs. You got to know all these other breeds, and then with the Cane Corso, you know, I wanted to research on that and get as much information for myself as well. And I know there's one thing, especially with this breed, if you panic, you're going to trigger something. It is what it is. So you don't panic, you don't jump up, you don't freak out.
She definitely wasn't listening, that's for sure.
Right. You stay relaxed as possible until the owner controls their dog like Nick did, and it is what it is. This dog is doing exactly what she was bred to do. It's in their DNA. Is to protect. If something that they're unsure of, they're gonna test you. They're gonna check you out, and I mean that's all she was doing. So it is what it is. But we're gonna show you guys Rio as well. That way you guys can see. You guys seen Rome. You guys have seen Draka. We're gonna bring out Rio. Rio is the stud that is going to Rome. There's Rio.
Sorry, what up, dude? What up, dude? Mom had you locked up. Why'd she have you locked up? What'd you do?
So with Rio,
What'd you do?
how much does Rio weigh?
163 pounds we weighed him the other day, I think.
163.
Good boy.
So this is the boy that is going to Rome, which Rome is the black brindle bitch. And with, oh yeah. And with the Corso's, man, socialization is huge. This is not a breed of dog to where you think you're gonna get a dog and because, oh, I just want a big dog. Because I'm not gonna lie, I had this conversation with Nick last night, like, man, you know, I'm looking for a guardian for my American Bullies. And before I started researching the Corso's, I didn't care what breed of dog it was. I just wanted a big dog that looked intimidating, and if somebody jumped the fence, I'd find you in the morning type shit. If you were trying to do something stupid with my American Bullies. The biggest thing with these dogs here is socialization, man. And I've made sure I've came by quite a bit. So that way these dogs know me.
Hey.
And that's always been, and that's any guardian breed, man. You know,
Boy. Come here.
I couldn't stress it enough. And that's why I wanted to do this video with somebody that owns these dogs, has experienced quite a bit of stuff along the way. And especially because there's a breeding coming up Monday. So we want to make sure we stress it that this is not just any breed of dog. This is not that. This dog, you have to be a very, very strong-willed person because this is a very strong-willed animal. And I mean, you can see Nick had to step out. I'm in here with the boy. And no fear, no situations, no worries in the world.
Stand. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, 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 look. Listen, listen. Little boy, stay. Here. You don't really care about the tree?
Lean back a little bit, get him all in there.
Uh-huh.
You gotta lean back a little bit, man. Go all the way back with that camera. I couldn't get his whole body in there at first.
Sit down. Basta, 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 basta. No, basta. First. Oh. You want it? Basta. Ah. 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 Oh boy. Let's go down. Keep going. Oh boy. Stay. Stay. Stay.
Going to be some very, very large Cane Corsos.
Not look. Not look. Not look. Stay. Stay. Look. Boy.
I mean, I think that's this breed here, especially with his size. I think that's one of the closest things you can get to having a bear in your house. Honestly, man. I mean, besides the Borbals and the presses, I don't even think the presses are the presses
They're
ain't
not this
even,
big.
they're not even this big.
No.
The Borbals, man. I mean, it's a given.
It reminds me of that, my buddy that had them. They almost remind me of like a little stockier pit bull.
A little taller?
A little
Yeah.
taller. Little.
Oh, you can definitely tell with these XLs and these double XLs now that motherfucking press is in there.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. You can see the features, man. It's in there, man.
My buddy had a couple, man. We ended up getting rid of the whole litter, the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
See ya.
Too much drive.
Too mean.
Yeah.
Shaking his Corso puppies.
Right.
Here, come see Dad. Hey, look, 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 look. Man, you're all over it.
Oh, he ain't gonna stop. Them pheromones are all through here.
Look, boy, come up here. Look, here, you want it? Here. Jesus. Drooling, drooling.
So how tall is he?
Compared to the standard,
Yeah.
so he's almost 30 inches,
Right.
which is too tall.
What is it?
Consider.
2 inches taller
I
than
wanna
what it's
say-
supposed to
I
be?
can look it up. I think it's like 28.
28 inches at the withers.
28, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
for males. They might even go 29. I don't know. I don't remember.
Right.
I mean, you know, some of the pictures, the way the guys are stacking the dog, makes them look a little shorter sometimes. So I don't know if some of those dogs just look. I try to judge it kind of based on like their belt line, like where I see them standing there next to a person, you know.
Right.
Because I know I'm 5'11", I'm really close to 6 foot, somewhere around there. So if you got a 6 foot guy, I can kind of tell, you know,
Right.
waist or whatever. I mean, that ain't a great way to fucking measure it, but I just know he's taller than I've seen. I'm not gonna say the place, but I've seen other breeders' kennels where their dogs are taller even than him, and they won't breed them. It's too tall, or
Right.
she's too tall, you know.
Right.
So maybe that's good for the breed, you know. I personally don't think you're gonna get. I mean, you breed a 30-inch dog, are you gonna get all the puppies that come out 30 inches? Probably not. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not. I don't know. I think it's all about opinion, man.
I mean, me personally, in my opinion, I feel as if even if the dog is an inch or two taller than what the so-called show standard is, or breed type or whatever, as long as that bigger dog carries its body and structure as well as that show dog does, then I feel like there should be no issue.
Yeah, just because of size.
Just because it's an inch or two taller.
Well,
I mean,
they do the same thing when they're too small.
Right.
When the dog's too small, this and that.
Right.
You don't care about the, you know, the structure of the
Right.
dog and like.
I mean,
temperament of the
to be honest,
dog,
man,
you know,
because
like-
if you put all the Cane Corso breeders in together, I mean, how many actually fit that show standard or that show the show rules. How many actually do? You know how hard it is to get something to be that specific? The American Bully breed, still to this day, cannot reach that show standard or what it was or what it's changed to be now. There's so many different variations with the fucking American Bully because there's so many different breeders out there. If you put all the American Bully breeders into a room together with all their dogs, my fucking God. I mean, I feel like if the overall look of the dog has not changed and it just got an inch taller or maybe 2 inches taller, but it still looks like the rest of the breed, I feel like there should be some leeway there.
Yeah.
I mean, if it hasn't changed his look, I mean, like I said, the American Bully, you put a fucking everybody that's breeding American Bullies in a room together with all their dogs, you're going to see so many different looks and types, and it's not going to look.
Well, you see it here.
Yeah.
Four Corsos, none of them resemble each other.
Mm-hmm.
None of them look the same.
No.
You know what I mean? 2 are from the same kennel, 2 are not. And actually, the 2 that are from the same kennel do resemble each other a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Features and stuff.
So it all depends on who.
I just, you know, they do whatever the best that they do. Maybe some people don't like it, some people do.
Right.
It's your opinion, and it's your money, and it's your time, and you do what you know what I mean? You're supposed to do what you like. Fuck what everybody else wants. You know, just like the bulk, you know, and how big and beefy they are. You know, I see a lot of people, you know, they'll overfeed and get their dogs huge, you know, and this and that. Well,
right.
These guys, it's been really distilled into my head to not rush the process. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't overfeed the dog. Don't make him bigger than what he's supposed to be. Like you said, how they carry their weight. Well, 24 to 28 months, somewhere around there, is when they kind of fully mature. So then, naturally, supposedly, you know, I don't have one that old yet, but naturally they put on their own weight and they start to reach the size, you know, and I don't think you have to adjust the food or feed them more. I think timing is just
right.
What you should do so you don't hurt their, you know, their bones and
right.
hurt their joints and put too much weight on them right away. You know what I mean? Just
yep.
let them go. The bag says six cups a day. Feed them 6 cups a day, man. It's written on the bag. You know what I mean? Read the fucking directions. I don't know. That part it's not too hard for me, man. Food. I see other people have a lot of problems with the food, you know, what to feed them, what they can. It's not hard for me. It actually, one food feeds all the dogs.
Yep.
2 times a day, 2 cups, you know, each serving. They seem to be okay with it right now. And I think as they get older, you can, you know, give them an extra cup or 2 or whatever, you know. But I just won't rush it, man. He's too big as it is. I don't want him to get bigger too fast. I'll wait and see, you know, when he's older, 28 months or whatever. And we're gonna go soon here and figure all his stuff out. Hopefully everything's a go with Rome.
Real boy.
Good, man. He's bad. Real. Look.
Big old boy.
Oh, yeah. Who's it? Who is it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who is it?
Good boy.
Yeah.
Huh. Good boy. What?
up, big boy. Something in your eye. People freak out when they see it, man.
I mean, it's not every day you see a dog actually that fucking big, man.
Yeah, he's taller than me, man. He stands up, he's taller.
I mean, yeah, it's not every day you see a dog that size. It's one thing when you see it on a TV or you see it on your phone, but when you see it in person, and that dog's front legs are as big as round as, I'd say, fucking 80% of people's biceps.
He just got some big front bones, huh?
Yeah.
I like his muzzle. I think out of all of them, I like his muzzle the most. You know what I mean?
I like his head shape. I like his whole. I like everything about him.
Yeah, his ears were done right. You know what I mean?
And that head, man, that head is unreal. That has to be.
Well, I don't know.
That has to be every bit of.
I don't know.
Man, I'd say 28, maybe 30.
You want to wrestle him and try to put a tape measure around it?
Yeah, we can check it. You got a mile tape?
I think so, man. I was just gonna put a piece of tape around it.
Oh, and measure it that way?
Measure that, and then measure the
But-
tape.
Let's check him out. Let's get it on video.
But I don't know if I got the right mark. Come here.
So he's not letting us use a mile tape on him or any tape, but trying to put the collar on him. Where was it at on the collar, Nick? What size collar is that?
Come here. Come here. Put your collar on. Go. Good boy. Stay. Stay. Good boy. All right. Stay. Right there.
So what size collar is that for neck?
I don't know. I never measured it.
So this is not an accurate, this ain't the mile tape measurement, but with the collar, and we'll get a mile tape measurement. I got a mile tape at the house, but with the collar
Got a big old head.
and then the tape there said 29.
What size are bully heads usually? What's the?
I mean, you'll get some that are 25. Occasionally you get some 24s and a halves. You got some out there that claim they got 26s and 27s and 28s and fucking 30-inch heads, and I promise you, they're not.
Whose head's bigger, mine or his?
Oh, fuck his, definitely.
You got a bigger head than me?
Oh, yeah.
I got a big head.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. But once I bring my mile tape, we'll get an accurate measurement, and we'll show exactly what it is. That little quick test was trying to put his collar on. Tell him he's gonna get his collar on. He'll let you do that with him and try to measure it that way, which is that's not an accurate measurement, but kind of an ideal. That son of a bitch is big.
Huh?
It's big.
Yeah, he did a good job with this breeding, man.
Yeah.
I think there was only 4 puppies that came out of this litter. He was the only. I think he was the only boy. I think it was 3 girls and 1 boy.
Right. So this is the boy that's going to Rome. Fingers crossed, everything goes good. Good healthy pregnancy, successful breeding, successful litter, good healthy pups. And you guys will see more of the Cane Corsos. When the breeding's finished and confirmed, let everybody know. And at a later time, pricing will be announced. Give a huge shout out to all the subscribers, new and old, like, shares, comments, followers, all the love that we get, continue to get. As always, take care. God bless. Stay safe. We love y'all, man. Keep rocking with us.